Sup guys, it's officially 2019, and god, do I feel old. Yeah. Alright, this is already a weird start to the video, but seriously, how y'all doing? It's 2019, we survived 2018, just barely, oh my god. It's currently negative 55 outside, so that's pretty cool. Hi, Fahrenheit, not Celsius, Jesus Christ, that'd be cold. Yeah, it's really cold here right now. But that's not what today's topic is, because, God. No one wants to talk about climate change, alright? No, today we're talking about respecting workers. Because, listen, I have now worked multiple minimum wage jobs, and oh boy howdy, do people not know how to treat us properly. So, I'm going to give an example. Okay, you should respect any worker that you have, regardless if you're the manager, if you're a co-worker of them, or if you're a customer. Okay? Just respect people, even if they don't deserve the respect. I should give an example for that. Okay, so I may not like someone. I may have issues with that person, but bringing it up in a work setting is not an appropriate reaction. I can't be a salty bitch to you just because you didn't invite me to your party. Because that's not professional, and it's not my place to do it at work. If I have an issue with you, yeah, I'll take it up with you outside of work, but I'm not going to go looking for confrontation while we're in the workplace, because that's going to impede upon my job. And you know what? That's just not diddly darn cool. Okay? So, say I have an issue with my manager, okay? Say I have an issue with my manager, and they have an issue with me, something like that. Me having an issue with you should not get in the way of me doing my work. And if it does, then you have a problem. Okay? Because then I'm not able to do my job properly, and that's not their fault, it's mine, because I'm letting it get in the way. Now, if they were doing something to purposely mess me up while at work because they have a problem with me, then that's on them. Understand? Yes. Okay? Respect your workers. Managers, take note. We are still human. But no, for this video I'm going to be specifically talking about customers, because we're doing our best. So, I have now worked a couple of minimum wage jobs, and I feel like I have a decent idea. So, you know, when those memes pop up where it's like Karen took the kids and then it's just like, oh, I want to speak to your regional district manager, and it's just like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like those kind of people, okay? So as I've mentioned before, I work at a pizzeria. I'm not going to name which one because, legal reasons. Don't want to get in trouble. I like my job most of the time. Okay. So, it's easy to, you know, laugh at those jokes going, haha, Karen wants to talk to my manager again. Hey. But no, like, this is an actual issue. Because I have worked at this job for almost, it's been over 2.5 years now, so nearly 3 years. Okay. And you know, you'll get those calls where it's like, something was messed up with my order, I want to talk to your manager, and it's like, sure, go for it, alright? But I have now been in the position where I am in charge of that thing, where I have to take the customer complaints because I've moved up in ranking, or position. So, literally, the way that we were taught to deal with it was just say they're right even if they're wrong. And I understand not wanting to be rude to your customers, because I have a tendency to be much more sassy than I originally intend. And that can totally come off as wrong to a customer. But for me, like, I genuinely feel bad, like, you paid for this. You should be able to get the best quality we're able to offer. If maybe we're busy or something like that, I understand from the kitchen side that maybe the best quality is not coming out just because we have to pump out pizzas like that, but You know, if you honestly have a bad experience with your pizza, I want to know about it. I want to be able to tell the bag, hey, this is happening. Let's try and fix it. But the idea that it's just like, oh yeah, we're totally and completely wrong. Like, I've had customers rant to me for 10 minutes being like, I can't believe this happened. I just have to sit there and take it. And like, it is a weird experience. And I realize this is what managers have to deal with all the time, because, you know, it's not very often that I have to take one of those calls like that. But it happens. But this is what my managers have to deal with constantly. I'm like, oh my god. People are insane. And, you know, there are very respectful people. Most people are very respectful. I should lead with this. Most customers are very respectful of the workers in the business place. Especially, like, today. Today, as I mentioned, it is -55. It is very cold, and we should not have been in business, but we are not in charge of that at the individual store, so oh well. But, we were getting so packed on deliveries that we couldn't get them there within the time we were promising because we were short on drivers. And there was just an overwhelming amount of deliveries because no one else is delivering in this weather. And on the radio, it had even said this company is not delivering due to weather conditions. And I was like, oh, wow. Ooh. So when people found out that we were delivering, we got slammed with them, and I mean slammed. I looked at the delivery, the driver table where the computer is set up with the delivery dispatch. I was like, we're gonna fall behind really fast. And we did. I was completely right. So it came to the point where we had to stop taking deliveries just because we couldn't keep up with it. We were supposed to close early due to the weather conditions, but, you know, I stayed there like half an hour, maybe 45 minutes past closing of the store, and over an hour past the end of my shift, because I was just trying to help the kitchen do like dishes and minor things like that. So today people were, for the most part, pretty respectful of, you know, us workers, because we were actually there. Because a lot of businesses closed really early today. So, but I've had someone walk up to me. There was a situation with our salads at one point. We got our shipment of mushrooms, and they weren't looking the prettiest, but they were completely fine to eat. Like, they weren't spoiled or anything. It was just, they weren't the prettiest mushrooms. So we were warning the customers of that. It's like, yeah, if the mushrooms look a little gross, they're perfectly fine to eat. Like, don't worry, we're not serving you bad food. It's just they don't look very good. And I was explaining this to a customer. And I think after like maybe 2 minutes of trying to explain to this man, we can still sell you the salad with the mushrooms in it. I'm just warning you that we don't recommend it at the moment because they're not the prettiest, and we want you to have the best salad possible. And after me trying to explain this to him for 2 minutes, he looked me dead in the eyes and just said, "Manager." And I'm like, what? I stopped talking. I went into the back. I explained the situation to my manager. And, because he was upset that I wouldn't give him a discount because we were recommending not getting it with mushrooms at the moment. He was demanding a discount, and I was like, sir, there's nothing wrong with the mushrooms. It's just... And he just demanded to see my manager with the least amount of respect I've seen in a while. So that was like a slap to the face, because it's like, what are you doing? But I know this is the case for a lot of workers in general. I don't even want to say minimum wage because I know this is a problem like everywhere. You know, of course, minimum wage have to deal with a lot of BS. I mean, like a lot. But it's everywhere. You know, someone doesn't get their way, so they call upon a manager, or they start talking shit about the worker that's trying to help them. This has happened before, where we were packed in the front, and a driver had to bring out some of the food because we were just so slammed. Oh, I'm remembering Friday. No. And the driver was calling the person's name because we have the names on the ticket, and that's how we call it out. And the person wasn't responding. So someone piped up and said, "Oh, that's me." And then the person, there was a guy sitting on the bench on his phone, not paying attention. And he realized it after the guy had walked out. It was like, "Oh, that was my pizza," and started talking shit about the workers and the driver who had brought it out, even though he was the one not paying attention. And we had called his name multiple times. So we started talking trash about the phone workers, the driver, and the manager to his face. I was like, what? Dude, listen. Okay, if we're going to work for minimum wage, which is not a livable wage, have the decency to respect the workers that are there to provide a service for you. We are not slaves. We are here because we need money. Because we are trying to be independent for ourselves. Or maybe they just want extra cash on the side like high school workers. Or maybe you don't know their situation here. But they are still human beings and should be treated as such. God forbid you have an inconvenience. My lord. Most of the time, whatever you are facing with these inconveniences is either against company policy or such a small inconvenience that it is unbelievable that you are having such a reaction to the case. If there is an actual situation where you are having a god-awful experience, then please, let someone know, let the manager know, this is exactly what happened, but be respectful about it. Don't be like, this worker's a piece of shit and you need to fire them immediately. Because that's not going to help anyone. We need to know what we did wrong so we can correct our behavior. And just saying, I waited too long. Because this was the thing, okay? We had a mystery diner come in. And if you don't know what a mystery diner is, it's someone that is paid either through the company, I think? I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's by the company. They ask people to come in anonymously, and they have like check marks to do for what they're doing. Here's the thing. Unless you truly have a really awful experience, rate those people well. Because while the company may be trying to do like actual improvement, what you say will really impact the worker that you're dealing with. Because we had a mystery diner, and they rated not only me, but my manager. And you could tell this person had never worked in food service before, because I was helping a customer before them. Okay? And I was hitting all the benchmarks for the person I was helping before them. And I was helping someone. Keep that in mind. I was helping someone. But they had said that they waited too long to be helped when I was still helping a chatty customer in front of them. So when my manager came around the corner and started helping them, they also rated him badly for taking so long. I was no longer the person that was going to deal with them. So I went to go help my manager and get their food for them so they could have a faster experience. to help them move along since they had been waiting. And they rated me bad for it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm trying to help you here. It just completely slapped me sideways that people would rate someone else badly because they were helping someone else. That they didn't immediately get what they wanted. It's like, wow. We've had people that have just started walking into the back because they think they've been waiting too long. Word of advice, don't do that. Chances are the back, at least at a food place, is a lot more hazardous than you think. Slippery floors from dishes, lots of items everywhere, like the hot box, or just, listen, don't go into the back of a food joint just because you've been waiting too long. Try and get someone's attention, because you're not supposed to be back there. There's a reason for that. I've been helping people before, and they just start walking into the back, and I have to be like, excuse me, you can't go back there. Like, it was... This is not... And they were just like, oh, I wanted to see what was back there. And I was like, what do you think? The kitchen. We don't have there's no Narnia back there. Okay? People are amazingly stupid sometimes. I'm just saying. Long and short of it is, respect workers, co-workers, and just respect people, even if you have an issue with them. Everyone's dealing with shit, and even if they are like the biggest bitch you've ever met, that doesn't give you the right to treat them like shit. Okay? Be respectful to workers, your peers, anyone, unless they are hurting someone else directly through their actions, or hurting themselves. If they're hurting themselves, or anyone else, you need to take action. And, be understanding of people. If it's a busy day, and you don't get your food like that, it's probably because we're busy. Okay? I've lost my train of thought. Be respectful. I'm ending this here. Short thing about the picture. It's my OC Aleksi. He needed a new ref sheet. I gave it to him. Coolio. Yeet.